Welcome to the Prince Eats. Check out this video for shiitake mushroom and Brussels sprouts pasta. Ingredients are in the description. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. If you're looking for a delicious and simple Meatless Monday option, this pasta is perfect for you. I want to start this demonstration by talking about the Brussels sprouts first. The Brussels sprouts will add great texture to this pasta, but I'm only going to use the leaves of the Brussels sprouts. You want to start by cutting the Brussels sprouts in half and removing the leaves as you see here. You certainly can use the core of the Brussels sprouts, however, they're a little bit more fibrous and will take a little longer to cook, and the texture will be a little bit different for this pasta dish. Roasting the Brussels sprouts is simple. You'll simply need to spread them out over a pan, drizzle a little bit of olive oil, sprinkle some salt and pepper, and place them in the oven at 400 degrees for 10 to 15 minutes. Keep an eye out for the leaves because they are thin and have a tendency to burn. While the Brussels sprouts are roasting, grab a skillet and place it over medium heat. Here I'm using a skillet large enough to accommodate the pasta that I'll prepare. The first order of business is sauteing the mushrooms. So grab your butter and allow it to melt inside the pan until it's completely melted. And at the same time, while the pan is getting hot, drizzle in a few tablespoons of olive oil. In this recipe, I use Shitake Mushroom. However, you can use any mushroom that you desire. Baby Bella also works well. Once the pan is hot and your oil and butter begin to simmer, you can go ahead and dump in the mushrooms. What I want to achieve in this step is just to allow the mushrooms to gain a little bit of color. In order to achieve color on the mushrooms, once you place them into the pan, just let them sit. They'll cook on the bottom surface area of the pan, and after 1 to 2 minutes, you can go ahead and flip or stir the mushrooms. But you really need to let them sit for 1 to 2 minutes. Salting is also necessary, however, you want to wait until after you flip the mushrooms and the mushrooms have achieved a little bit of color. Adding salt to the mushrooms too soon is simply just going to draw moisture out of the mushrooms and prevent the mushrooms from getting that brown color that you desire. Reduce the heat to medium-low and pour in a little dry white wine, which will help to heighten some of the savory flavors that I'll introduce in this dish. Next, I add a caramelized onion and roasted garlic dip. Essentially what this is a combination of the two with cheese and cream. If you don't have a similar dip at your grocery store, you can make your own. Once the dip breaks, we can add some seasonings. Here I have traditional Italian seasonings which are perfect for this dish. I also use beef bouillon, which sets the tone for beefy flavors for this dish. Add the remaining butter and allow it to melt and fully incorporate into the sauce. You'll just need to mix long enough until the seasonings, the sauce, and the mushrooms fully incorporate and blend together. By this time, the smell of the alcohol should have dissipated and the alcohol should have reduced by half. The next step is easy. Gradually pour in some beef stock. You'll need to pour it in gradually to allow the beef stock to fully incorporate with the cream and the mushrooms. And keeping the heat on medium-low allows just enough temperature for all of these ingredients to meld together. Pour in the remaining beef stock and stir until mixed well. Once you see that the color is consistent, it's time to move to the next step. Pour in a little bit of heavy cream. This isn't necessarily to make this a creamy dish, however, it will balance some of the savory flavors that we've already introduced. And for future reference, heavy cream does a great job of reducing the height of savory flavors. Once the sauce begins to simmer, conduct a taste test for flavor. If salt is needed, be conservative and add by the pinch. We're at the home stretch and you can go ahead and dump in your al dente pasta. Pour in a couple ladles of pasta water. For this recipe, I use Casarecce Pasta, which has great texture, and when you're doing a Meatless Monday or just a meatless meal in general, it always helps to use ingredients that have a little bit of bite or meat-like textures. Stir long enough to allow the pasta to fully coat in the cream sauce. By this time, the pan is hot and you can go ahead and reduce the heat to low. As you can see, the pasta is fully coated and the cream has thickened slightly, much of which is due to the pasta water, which is heavy in starch. The next step is to go ahead and dump in the leaves of the Brussels sprouts. As you can see here, roasting them gave it great color and texture. Some of the natural green is still visible, however, the very familiar color that we know from roasted Brussels sprouts, that brown color is present as well. Add a couple pinches of fresh or dry chives. Stir until the chives are mixed well into the pasta dish. And just like that, you're done. A pasta dish that's perfect for Meatless Monday, has all of the beefy flavors without the meat itself. This meal is sophisticated enough for date night and high value for weeknight meals. All that's left to do is to garnish with more fresh chives and fresh Parmesan cheese. Dinner is served. For more fresh meal ideas, visit theprinceeats.com and The Prince Eats on all social media outlets.